Hey everyone, welcome to the post show. It is Denise Salcedo and it is Friday, March 8th, and I'm here to chat about WWE Smackdown here tonight. And I gotta tell you guys, Smackdown has become one of my favorite shows to watch throughout the entire week because the 2 hours, man, they just fly freaking by. So much so that at the end of this episode, I kind of felt like they could have easily gone like 15 more minutes at least with the closing segment with The Rock, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Cody Rhodes, that I kind of felt like the last like little bit of it felt extremely rushed. I looked at the clock and I'm like, damn, are they gonna stop right now? Like, what's going on here? It even felt like they were gonna end the show already at like 2 minutes before the end of the hour. They put up the little end graphic that they put, and I was like, damn, it doesn't seem like it's done yet. Then they kind of kept it going a little bit more, and then finally that was it. The show ended. But we got to get into what went down overall. It kind of felt like a little bit of a simple episode of SmackDown, which I know sounds crazy because we had The Rock on, but it kind of feels like, this was really the thing that I was most looking forward to for the show. And I think a lot of people were probably most looking forward to the show. And it just felt extremely rushed. So I would have really liked for that to go a little bit longer, or at least feel like it felt like it was over. Like, I feel like I had to be in the crowd to see the real ending of this. This didn't feel like the real ending of this segment, is what I'm trying to get at. So, anyways, we got to get into the conversation and talk about what went down tonight. I'm curious to get a lot of people's just like opinions on what's going down going into WrestleMania and how we're feeling about the stories. But before we get into the nooks and crannies and all of the details of everything, of course, if you guys want to help support this podcast, get your question, comment, or statement, hot take, opinion, whatever it is that you want, you are more than welcome to send in a super chat. And if you do, it will be read here on the stream, and it just helps me out tremendously. So thank you to everybody in advance, and let's get to it. All right, here we go. We're going to kick things off with a big thank you, as always, to Sheldon Jackson for gifting 5 DWO memberships. Sheldon Jackson never forgets, man, never forgets to come through. So thank you very much, as always, to Sheldon. We got Steven in here who says, dang it, we need an overrun. How are they going to leave us hanging? Also, if WWE had plans for Tiffany to be a heel, then that needs to change immediately, says Steven. We kind of talked about this last week. I think WWE knew what they had with Tiffany Stratton. I mean, there was a reason why they had her in the Royal Rumble. There was a reason why they called her up so very fast. They knew they had something in Tiffany Stratton, but I don't think that they were expecting her to turn, for the fans to want to turn her into a babyface, because her character is naturally a heel character. And we kind of talked about this last week, but her popularity, through her in-ring skills, is kind of pushing people to want to see her as a baby face, even though she is a heel and her character is a heel. We got the moneymaker Chris here, who just joined the DWO. Thank you so much to Chris. Welcome, man. We got Matt Logan here who says, I was on the Dynamite chat. Thank you so much to Matt for coming in here and being part of the Dynamite chat as well. Mr. Twilly says, we are definitely getting Tiffany Stratton versus Bianca Belair and Naomi. Okay. Let me reread this. He says, we're definitely getting Tiffany Stratton, Bianca, and Naomi versus Jade and Damage Control at WrestleMania. That would be really freaking cool, because I know a lot of us want to see, like, for example, Tiffany Stratton be in a one-on-one match against somebody big. Same thing with Jade Cargill. We want to see her in a one-on-one match with somebody big. But because they are still pretty new to this WWE landscape and haven't had like a big experience on a singles match and a big PLE, this could be a cool way to get them on the card, but not have so much pressure to have to deliver in a matchup of that magnitude, right? Who knows? That could be a thing for sure, though. So thank you so much for sending this in, because I actually really do like that idea. All right, but I'm going to kick things off with the big topic of the day, and that is, of course, everything surrounding the main event segment with Roman Reigns, The Rock, Cody Rhodes, and Seth freaking Rollins. So here we go. I feel like if you were expecting for something super groundbreaking to happen during this segment, I hate to break it to you guys, but there was really nothing super groundbreaking. We all knew that this match was pretty much going to be made official, and from the looks of it, it is. They didn't show like an official graphic or anything, but just the way that things played out, I think it's pretty positive that we are definitely getting this match. Again, they did not actually give us the graphic, but from the sounds of it, it's official. So here's what went down. And I think we were all expecting this, by the way. We were all expecting for Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes to be like, yes, we accept your challenge, because no one here was going to be expecting them to be like, oh yeah, no, never mind, we're not going to have this match or whatever, right? Like that's not what we were planning on. But anyways, so here's what went down specifically in this segment. So The Rock and Roman Reigns go out there, and it's pretty simple. They tell the people to acknowledge them instead of Roman Reigns asking people to just acknowledge him. This time he was asking for the people to acknowledge the bloodline. So that was kind of new. I thought, okay, Roman Reigns is kind of setting his ego aside a little bit so that The Rock and everybody part of the bloodline can get a little bit of that acknowledgement. And of course, with the way that things ended last week, with The Rock acknowledging Roman Reigns, well, okay, he's playing ball. All right. Last week, it was very, very clear that there was some tension there. And even though The Rock acknowledged Roman Reigns last week, it really didn't feel like it was, I don't know. It didn't feel like it was genuine. It did not feel genuine at all. But we'll have to wait and see until WrestleMania, until whether or not that's true or not, whether or not it was genuine. I think we'll find out at WrestleMania. But anyways, Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins end up coming through the crowd. A lot of people were pointing that this is probably a way for Seth Rollins to be playing sort of mind games, I guess, because of the Shield entrance used to always be through the crowd. If that's the reason, okay. That may or may not have been the reason. I'm not specifically too sure on that, but that's what we saw with that. But here's what we got with the actual promo. So Cody Rhodes tried to stir the pot a little bit, because he questioned The Rock as to whether or not he had the authority to make the stipulation that he made last week, given that, again, if Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins win their tag team match at WrestleMania, the bloodline will not be in his main event match against Roman Reigns. However, if they lose, then it's going to be bloodline rules during the match between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. Now, I'm expecting for The Rock and Roman Reigns to win this tag team match and for it to be bloodline rules. I think that's the way that they're going to spice things up, right? So Cody is trying to stir this pot here because he tells The Rock that the reason why he questioned his authority was because last week, he basically went out there and acknowledged Roman Reigns. And The Rock took offense to this and basically told him that the reason why he did it was because he is family, and that is what family does. Now, here's the thing, though. Think about this. Roman Reigns has a big ego, all right? Roman Reigns wants everybody to bend over backwards for him, okay? That's who Roman Reigns is. Do you think that was a good enough reason for Roman Reigns? Or do you think this is going to come back later on when Roman Reigns and The Rock feud? Because The Rock didn't say, I'm acknowledging him because he's the greatest. He didn't say, I'm acknowledging him because he's the champion. He didn't say all of these wonderful things about Roman Reigns. He just said, I did it because that's what family does. Bro, that's not a very, maybe for some people it's a good reason, but is it a good enough reason for Roman Reigns? That was one thing that I was thinking about while I was watching this. So we continue on with all of this. The whole entire time from the very beginning that this has all begun, I feel like Seth Rollins has not been looking the very best in this, right? They've gotten off at his expense. They've made a lot of jokes about the way that he dresses, a lot of jokes at the expense of Seth Rollins. And we continue to see that here. We saw Roman Reigns call him, I think, a cross dresser. The Rock called him a walking clown. Then he called him a walking clown emoji. I mean, all the shots that you can possibly take at Seth Rollins, they were definitely taking them at Seth Rollins. However, Seth Rollins finally had a little bit of a moment, where he like gets into The Rock's face and tells him that they accept this match. So I take it they're accepting this match because Seth Rollins accepted it in The Rock's face. And I did think he had one good line here, Seth Rollins. He told The Rock that The Rock was Mr. Midlife Crisis. And he told him, you've had your time already, and I'm not going to let you take our time. He basically went out there and called The Rock old. That is what Seth Rollins did. He called The Rock old. So that was kind of a little bit of the moment that we have there. I did like that because I just wanted to see Seth Rollins kind of stand up for himself a little bit, right? Like, get angry, get upset. They've been pushing you to the corner in this entire thing. Like, get mad, get angry. Like, have people try and acknowledge you. You're still the world heavyweight champion, like stick up for yourself. And that's something that I wanted to see from Seth Rollins. And I was very happy that he finally did stick up for himself a little bit. Of course, The Rock got a bunch of like boos and stuff because he mentioned a certain line that I think the fans were like, nah, F you. And this was when he mentioned that he is, part of the board of directors, that he is Cody Rhodes' boss. He is Seth Rollins' boss. So he pulled the I'm your boss line, and the people did not like that whatsoever. So that's really easy, like heat for The Rock to get, is when he mentions that he's their boss. And here's another thing, though, that I thought was interesting, was that The Rock told Cody Rhodes that if he did not win this match, if he did not finish his story, that he would never get another shot at the title. Now, he didn't say like, oh, you'll never get another shot at the title if Roman Reigns has it, or you'll just never get a shot at the title ever again. That really wasn't super clarified, but he basically said, you don't win, you ain't getting another shot here. So I know to a lot of people, it already feels like a dead given that Cody Rhodes is going to be winning at WrestleMania 40. I don't know if that line from The Rock maybe emphasizes it just a little bit more. We'll see. But that was another portion of that. And then The Rock continued on to bring in and talk about some of Cody Rhodes' family members. He talks about his siblings. He talks about, the age difference between him and Dustin, and tells Cody that the reason there's this big age difference is because Cody Rhodes was a mistake, basically saying that he should not have been born and that he was a mistake. Now, this ended with Cody Rhodes slapping The Rock. And that was it. That was the end of this segment, guys. Again, it felt a little incomplete. I felt like we needed to get a little bit more out of this because it was just a slap and then bam, all of a sudden they're promoting the next thing that's starting on freaking Fox. And I'm like, bro, the man just got slapped. I want to see what's going to happen. This is pro wrestling, man. We know what happens when someone gets slapped. They throw down, and we did not get to see any of that. So I hope that for the future, god damn, look, there's more action here happening. You guys are going to see the ending of me in this microphone because I've already slapped it 2 times out here busting on Cody Rhodes. But anyways, we did not get to see what felt like a real ending to this show. So I hope that for the future that they just start earlier on this stuff. Now, I know it's live television and shit happens, and sometimes things go over, things go under, things like that. But I really feel like because this is the meat of the show, because a lot of us are tuning in specifically for this storyline, we need to make sure that it feels like we're getting the entire thing. Now, this may have been the entire thing. Who knows? But like I said, if you see one man slap another man, I want to see the rest of it. I want to see what the hell is going to go down afterwards, because I doubt The Rock was like, oh, thanks for slapping me. Bye. I'll see you next week. Like, I highly doubt that was what happened. So because of that, I did kind of feel like it just ended a little randomly. But anyways, that's where we're at. That's the update with what's going down with this whole entire story. So let's go ahead and see what the people are thinking. What are you guys thinking about what's going on here? All right, let's see what we got here. Where am I at? All right, here we go. We got Stephen Marchuli, who says, Cody needed that slap. We needed Cody versus Rock singles match. I thought at one point that that was what we were going to get, because again, it kind of feels like it's weird, right? Because there's this focus between The Rock and Cody Rhodes, and then there's, of course, Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. And that feels kind of like the bigger thing. However, Seth Rollins has kind of just like been there. And now I feel like with a lot of the disrespect that he's gotten, though, in some weird way, it's incorporated him more into the storyline, but not in the way that you might think, where it's more so, like I said, we're waiting for him to like defend himself. We're waiting for him to finally feel like he had the upper hand at some little moment. So he finally kind of did here today. But again, it feels like Seth Rollins is just there. I actually feel like, for me, I'm very interested, of course, because of the history between Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. We all know all of that. But I love that we still have that. Like, I still want to see Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. I still want to see that at some point. And Roman Reigns has been throwing so many freaking shots at Seth Rollins, especially with the way that he dresses. At the kickoff show, like, he told them that he goes into Becky Lynch's closet. So to me, like, you still got to do something there. So there's a lot here. It's a lot of different connected dots. We got Tunde Oud, who says, is it me, or is Bianca Belair turning heel little by little and going after Bayley after she wins? Also, the way she spoke to Naomi kind of feels heelish. So here's the thing. I knew some people were going to think that, because it crossed my mind a little bit. So we did have a backstage segment with Bianca Belair and Naomi. And basically, Naomi had been watching this interview, this very heartfelt interview that Bayley did with Kayla. And in the interview with Kayla, she was talking about how she feels like she doesn't know what was real between her and Damage Control, and she's kind of hurt. And it's a very heartfelt promo, right? And Naomi's watching it, and she's sort of, connecting with her. She's feeling sorry for Bayley. And Bianca Belair comes in and is like, no, why are you feeling sorry for her? This is the stuff that she did. Like, I know you weren't here, but she did all of these things to me. And you know what? I love that. I love that. So to me, it wasn't a heel thing for Bianca. Now, it may be in like the storyline sense, but in real life type of situations, I don't think that was a heel move from Bianca Belair, because Bianca Belair should still remember what happened between her and Bayley. In fact, her and Bayley have like gone through the freaking wire, man. They've had so many freaking matches. Things have gone in so crazy between them that Bianca Belair shouldn't just be like, oh, well, her life sucks now, so I'm going to be friends with her. Hell no, man. Hell no. Bianca Belair isn't going to forget. I love this, because I do hate that whenever someone turns babyface, all of a sudden they got to be friends with all the babyfaces on the roster just because they're all babyfaces, even though we've seen some of those babyfaces collide in the past. To me, it's far more realistic for people that are both considered baby faces to maybe not, see eye to eye to each other, given past, past stories that have played out. So to me, it's far more realistic to have Bianca Belair be like, nah, I ain't gonna buy it that easy, who could, I think if she bought it so easily, she would kind of look foolish if she did, because again, her past with Bayley. So that's kind of how I feel about that. But we got Julian Bravo, who says, Denise, do you think Seth and Cody are cool tonight after tonight? Oh, if they're cool, that's been a struggle, guys, because when you think about like who's cool on the roster, there are certain people where I'm like, okay, who's cool? I think Roman Reigns is cool. Like when I think of all of these guys, to me, Roman Reigns is probably the coolest. Okay. Of course, you have The Rock. He's cool because he's The Rock. Cody Rhodes, it's more so like he's not your typical cool guy. He's more so of this guy who's like, he's cool in a different way. I can't explain it. He's not like Jey Uso cool. He's more like he's a nice guy and you want to cheer for him, but he's not like what you would consider cool as in trendy and hip, like in that type of fashion. So, do I consider Seth and Cody cool after tonight? It depends on your definition of cool. I do think that Cody Rhodes needing to have more of a backbone, and we've been seeing that a little bit more, has helped out this storyline a whole lot more. Seeing Seth Rollins stand up for himself a little bit tonight helped it a lot more too, because I don't want to just go see them and see them constantly be out promoted by The Rock. Now, I hear the words that I say, and I know that it's extremely hard to out promo The Rock. It's nearly impossible, especially for, certain talents. But I don't want to feel like The Rock is just like wiping them clean all the dang time. Like I want to see them actually fight back. Are they cool after tonight? I think because I'm struggling to say yes or no, I'm going to go with they can be a lot cooler. I do think they could be a lot cooler because right now it still feels like The Rock and Roman Reigns are just a little bit cooler than Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. So sorry, Julian, for the long-winded answer, but I was literally trying to search my brain as to whether or not I really thought that they were cool yet. And I'm going to say just a little bit more work there. John Deller here says, Bloodline rules with Jey Uso showing up. I don't know because of course I'm still thinking that we're gonna see Jimmy and Jey Uso. However, it would make sense, but I don't know what they're gonna. It would make sense if Jey Uso were to see Jimmy and Solo and all of these people butt into this match. I'm pretty sure he's gonna want to get involved given everything that Jimmy has been doing in the whole entire story with all of them. So I could see that as a possibility as well. Mike Parker here says Seth getting to tell The Rock he was having a midlife crisis and saying he had his time was cool. No one has gotten to cut down The Rock like that in a while. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, I want to see someone fire back at The Rock so that I could literally be like, oh shit, he said that to The Rock. What the hell is The Rock gonna say? Like, I want them to like keep one-upping each other because it just makes things far more entertaining. So I did love him getting in his face and telling him that this was a midlife crisis. That was good stuff, man. 554K says, not a bad show tonight. This is off topic, but would you consider giving followbacks on X for channel members as an added perk? Sorry if that is out of pocket, but you are always my favorite YouTuber. Dude, I appreciate this, man. A lot of people send me suggestions of like things that I can do with my content, things that I can do for like the channel. And I always listen to what people have to say, and I do implement a lot of different suggestions that people throw in here. And it's just a matter of like brainstorming because I don't like to do things on a whim. I plan all my moves out, guys. I plan all my moves out. So let me think about it and see what I can do and figure out what I want to do exactly. We got Ice-T He who says, Dave LaGreca must have exploded in his pink robe and his Cody t-shirt when Cody slapped Dwayne. Have you checked on him? Is he breathing? So the last time I spoke to Dave, we actually spoke, when was it? God, I'm trying to remember. It was, something happened. Oh my God, what was it that happened? It might have been right after the Cody Rhodes moment where he gave his WrestleMania match to The Rock. I think it was like a couple days after that I did speak with Dave, and yeah, he made sure to give me his thoughts on how he felt about that. And that was way before The Rock did the video where Dave comes out with the pink robe. And I also did watch Dave's reaction to The Rock using him in the video. I did watch all of that, but last time I heard, Dave LaGreca, he's still alive and breathing and functioning. But I don't know, man. He's got beef with The Rock. Mike Parker says, it's not a heel move by Bianca. It's logic returning under Triple H. Under you know who, no one was supposed to remember anything after 2 weeks. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, guys. Like in real life, just because all of a sudden someone's nice, but they did you dirty prior, you're going to be like, nah, bro, I remember when you did me dirty. I remember. That's real life, guys. Nick Grasso says Tiffany Stratton is going to be a big star and it would be a crime to leave her off of WrestleMania. So I think they should put her against Bianca and have Naomi and Jade Cargill challenge Asuka and Kairi Sane. As we mentioned, that's something that I think can be a possibility, a multi-woman match when it comes to that, because you don't want to leave the Damage Control out. And then obviously Bayley and Io Sky, they're doing their big WrestleMania match, so that's going to be a big moment. But I would love to see, you know, of course, the rest of Damage Control get a match and most likely have it be with like Jade Cargill and Naomi. Like that would be really, really cool. Like I said, to get the pressure off of not having to do like a big singles match for Jade Cargill or a big singles match for Tiffany Stratton, because you don't have to rush things, guys. Like we still got plenty more WrestleManias down the pipeline, and you can still save some big matches because we are getting some big matches already. One of them being specifically for the women, Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley. Like, I'm very excited about that matchup. So you don't have to, you know, throw everything you've got all at once. Tunde Yun says, are we seeing Final Testament or Hurt Business at WrestleMania 40? I feel like we are, because it kind of feels like they're lagging things a little bit. And I might as well talk about that really quickly. So we had Bobby Lashley versus Karrion Kross here tonight on SmackDown. And for the most part, like this was they gave him a lot of time. And I was foolish enough to think that we were actually going to get some sort of finish. But no, I'm starting to realize that when I see a certain match go longer than what I probably anticipated it to be, it's probably going to end in a DQ, which sucks because you've invested all of this time in this match and then all of a sudden it ends in a DQ. Well, my friends, it ended in a DQ. The AOP came out and they attacked Bobby Lashley. The Street Profits came out to help out Bobby Lashley. It all ended with the Final Testament getting the upper hand. So to me, it feels like this is the match that we're getting all the way until WrestleMania, which is honestly not that far away from now. So yeah, this felt like a little bit of a way to prolong this feud even further. And honestly, I kind of want them to like, I don't want this just to be like a basic match. I kind of want them to like, you know, get a little violent, man. Maybe add a stipulation, make it a hardcore match, make it a street fight, make it something. I feel like with all of these guys, you don't want to just have them go out there and just, I don't know. I feel like the story that they're going with and the characters that they have, I feel like they can have a little bit more fun with the stipulation. So I'm hoping that they make it a little bit more exciting for WrestleMania 40. Because other than that, I don't want to see just a basic match between Final Testament and Hurt Business, because then I feel like I can watch that on SmackDown. And that's just personally where I'm at. Julian Bravo says, bring back. Wait, are you bring back Heck Rock is TKO board now. Heck Rock. Sorry. I'm just making out what you're trying to say here. Heck Rock is TKO board now. All right, Julian. I'm so sorry that I'm blanking on your super chat here. Please explain in the comments because I'm kind of blanking right now. Sorry, guys. We got the Champ 39 who says, do you think Stone Cold would get involved with the tag team match? So when it comes to Stone Cold, I personally feel, honestly, like prior to this, and I know this is not going to happen anymore because CM Punk's injured, but that was definitely something that I wanted to see. It's not going to happen though. I don't know how they're going to incorporate Stone Cold. I really, truly do not. You can incorporate him in so many different ways, of course, but I don't know specifically what they're going to do. If they're going to have him get involved in all of this, if they feel they need to. I don't feel that they need to, but I know that the fans obviously want to see Stone Cold Steve Austin, but it could probably be in a different way. Thank you so much to the Champ 39 for that as well. Okay, Julian Bravo was asking about Hulk Hogan. All right, I wasn't sure if you were talking about Hulk Hogan or if you just were talking about something else. All right, he says, bring back Hulk Hogan. I don't know. To me, it makes no difference. Eh, if you want to see Hulk Hogan, great. If you don't, then I don't know what to say, guys. Like, it's not going to be the thing that makes me go, yeah. No, I'm kind of fine with what we have right now, guys. I'm good with it. Thumbs up. All right, guys. I want to get into something really big that kind of happened here. And the reason I say it's big is because it's big for WWE in the sense that it's not something we've seen. So here we go. Logan Paul. Oh boy, this is exciting. So Logan Paul comes out. He's been champion for 125 days, United States champion. He's defended the title one time, guys. One time in those 125 days. And that was a match against Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble. One time in 125 days. Think about that. He comes out there and he cuts this promo and everybody's what chatting him. And for a second, he starts laughing and I'm like, oh no, the what chants are going to break him. They're going to break him. But he bounces back. He's really good on the mic. So he bounces back and he kind of plays along with the what chants. I thought they were going to break him for a second because he started laughing and he was like, come on, guys, don't do that or something. And I'm like, oh no, they're going to break Logan Paul with the what chants. But anyways, he made it through. But the thing that we need to talk about, though, in regards to this is that Logan Paul and the WWE have partnered in the sense that his Prime Energy drink is now going to be featured in the center of the ring. The Prime logo, the bottle and everything. They even showed us a little sample of it right smack in the middle of the ring. Now, this is not going to be for every show. According to the press release and according to Logan Paul, this is going to be starting at WrestleMania and it is going to be at all of the premium live events starting since WrestleMania. And the press release kind of explained that this partnership is going to involve a little bit more. It's going to involve a bunch of different stuff. They're going to be heavily promoting Prime and it's going to be incorporated into, how WWE works with their advertising partners and all of that. So similar to what you see with them, with what they do with cricket and things like that, you're going to be seeing with Prime, the energy drink. Now, this is literally right smack in the center of the ring. And I asked people, how they felt about it because this is not something that we're used to. And I'm going to pop in the picture in just a second. But this is basically what it's going to look like. So you can tell it's very, very huge and it's right smack in the center of the ring. It's going to take a second to get used to, guys. And I posted it on Twitter and a lot of people were not happy about it, guys. I'm going to say the comments that I saw, I'm going to say maybe 70% to 80% of the comments that I saw, people were like, ugh, I hate it. I don't like it. It looks ugly. You name it. That's what people were saying. Now, I think we should have already been expecting this with the move with TKO and Endeavor and all of that. They talked a lot more about, incorporating more advertisers, bringing in more advertising money and all of these things. They've talked about this a whole lot. And we have seen this in other sports. It's a norm in literally all sports. But in pro wrestling, we've kind of not have seen it specifically on the mat, specifically on the center. So it is going to be feeling a little bit different. It's going to take a second for us to get used to. Personally, I kind of hope that I kind of think it looks nicer when they have more logos on the mat. So I know there's some people probably thinking, no, Denise, what is enough? I like it when there's more. If you're going to do one, like you might as well fill the whole thing up, in my opinion. But I'm also happy that it's not going to be on every show, because for a second, I thought it was going to be on every show and it was going to take a second to get used to, honestly. And I saw a lot of people say this too, and I agree with this. I would have preferred it to not be like dead in the center, but maybe on the sides, on the sides, I think would have just not been such a like an eyesore, right? But of course, we'll get used to it. It's just one of those changes that's going to happen, and we just got to get used to. And at least it's only for the premium live events. Although, let's not forget that Dwayne The Rock Johnson also has an energy drink. So I wouldn't be surprised if at some point we see his energy drink logo right there too. Maybe they mix it up. Maybe his energy drink is his logo's on Raw and SmackDown. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure that we're going to be seeing a lot more of this. And this was kind of what I expected already, just based off of like things that I've heard from like people doing interviews and whatnot, where they talk about what they want to do with WWE from Endeavor and whatnot. So I think at this point, this was pretty much expected, but we just got to get used to it, guys. I'm sorry. I know it's going to take me a second too, man. I'm not going to be super used to it, but it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. We did also have his partner KSI come out, and he ended up taking an RKO from Randy Orton. So that was kind of fun to see. We got a super chat here from Ice-T, who says, Ari Emanuel, CEO of TKO, is The Rock's agent, while Nick Khan, president of WWE, is his friend. Rock is the chair of the board. Triple H is outmatched, says Ice-T, I like your username, by the way. It's kind of fun to read. I enjoy when people have some funny usernames. It kind of makes my day. And I honestly think about some people's usernames like randomly throughout the day. It'll just like pop into my head and I'll just start laughing like by myself. But anyways, that's where we're at. I do want to point this out because I agree. This is from Night American, who says KSI sold that RKO amazingly. I agree. It was smooth. It was nice. He did the job. Honestly, I enjoyed it. It was good. I was surprised by that too. I enjoyed it. All right, so let's go ahead and press on because we got a couple more things to get into, but those were really like the big topics from SmackDown here tonight. So what we haven't spoken about really quickly, we did get a match between Grayson Waller and Austin Theory versus Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. This was a very, very quick match. Randy wins with the RKO. And then afterwards, Logan Paul attacks them from behind. He brings out the brass knucks, but Randy Orton takes away the brass knucks and is about to hit Logan Paul, but Logan Paul moves out of the way. And then he almost hits Kevin Owens, but he stops himself just in time so he doesn't hit Kevin Owens. And then Logan Paul makes his way out. There's not really much else to add in regards to this. We talked about the Bayley sit-down interview that she did with Kayla, and it was basically her just saying she's hanging on by a thread. She's questioning what was real and what was not. And as I mentioned earlier, Naomi was watching this, and she feels bad for Bayley. Bianca does not feel bad for Bayley, and I agree with Bianca. She should not feel bad for Bayley until they have settled things. Or, hell, maybe Bianca just gets fed up and really does turn heel. Who knows where we're going to go with Bianca? But as of right now, she is not a heel to me right now. She is not. We have a super chat here from Mike Parker, who says, I may get heat for this on International Women's Day. Oh no, what are you going to say, Mike? He says, but Elektra Lopez was killing it in that dress tonight. This is not what I was expecting. I thought you were going to say something like really terrible or something. Mike continues on to say, just saying, hey, it's still a super chat and that helps. Have a good night, y'all. All right, Mike. Sorry, I thought you were gonna be like, "Oh, Electra Lopez sucks." I don't know. That's what I thought you were gonna say. I don't know. But no, saying that she's killing it in the dress is definitely a-okay, man. It's definitely a-okay. Mike Parker, you broke me on that one. You broke me on that one. And she did look great, by the way. And that leads me into that segment, actually, because I was really digging what they did today with Legado del Fantasma. So Dragon Lee was backstage and he's got his, Rey Mysterio shirt. He's on the phone and Electra Lopez approaches him and she asks, like, are you talking on the phone with Rey Mysterio? Whatever. Legado del Fantasma all surrounds him and they start to bully him. And this was great stuff, guys, because they bring up like the big elephant in the room. And that is that WWE has been trying to find like the next Rey Mysterio forever, right? How many times haven't we heard, oh, they're trying to find the next Rey Mysterio. This person has the potential of being the next Rey Mysterio. Newsflash, guys, we are never gonna get another Rey Mysterio because Rey Mysterio is one of a freaking kind, okay? We're not gonna get another Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio is Rey Mysterio and cannot be duplicated, all right? But anyways, getting back into the storyline, though. Back into the storyline. I love that they brought this up. I love that they started to mock him and bully him for trying to, in their eyes, be the next Rey Mysterio, right? And this was really funny because Electra Lopez was even making fun of him by calling him, like, saying, like, oh, pobrecito. And if you speak Spanish, these are things that, how do I explain it? Like, I say that all the time. Like, I'd be calling everybody pobrecito. Like, that's just the thing that we do. And then on top of that, Angel makes fun of him and calls him a chaparrito, which is a short guy. So she's making fun of him on that end. I loved it. I loved them just like being total a-holes. So then we end up getting this match between Angel and Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee gets his win, but of course, because all of Legado is out there, they attack him and they leave him there on the mat. Rey Mysterio was not there tonight, so there was no one there to help out Dragon Lee. Poor Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee had everybody's back, and there was no one today that had his back. I don't know where everybody else was at. No idea, but nobody helped out poor Dragon Lee, and they just left him there. But anyways, next week we are going to be seeing Rey Mysterio return to SmackDown. So he's clearly going to be pissed for the things that they did to Dragon Lee. I want to thank Renegade, who just became a brand new YouTube member. Hell yeah, man. Renegade, welcome to the DWO. All right, guys. Let's see what else we need to get into. I also forgot to mention that we are going to be seeing Dakota Kai versus Bayley next week on SmackDown. That was something else that was announced. But we got a couple more things to get into before we wrap up the show. And before I go, if this is your first time being here on the SmackDown post show or any of my post shows, I do go live multiple times during the week. On Tuesdays, I'm here to talk about NXT. On Wednesdays, I'm here with my co-host Reg to talk about AEW Dynamite. And if you are an AEW fan, please check out this last week's episode because I thought it was one of the strongest episodes of Dynamite all year long. And me and Reg just had like the best time talking about it. We had Okada come in. It was a very, very fun show. So you guys can check that one out. And then also I'm here on Fridays for SmackDown. And I think either this week or probably until next week, guys, I'm going to be back to doing collision shows. Those are a little bit harder to do because, it's on a Saturday. And sometimes I want to go out and have a life for like a day, just a day, have a little bit of a life. So I'm hoping to be back to doing those collision post shows very, very soon. Just keep an eye out, guys. There's been a lot going on. I think that's it on the show front. But let's go ahead and get into the other topics that I wanted to touch on. And let's go into AJ Styles' promo on LA Knights. I'm curious to see how you guys felt about this because I was a big fan of the promo that AJ Styles cut. Very deep, connected with the camera, looked angry, really great. He's talking about how LA Knight is underachieving and basically needs to be humbled. And he says that he is the phenomenal choice for the job. He is going to humble LA Knight. Now, the thought, the opinion that I want from you guys here in the chat is, how did you feel about LA Knight's reaction to AJ Styles' promo? Because he gets the TV and he smashes it on the floor, and then he gets a chair and he starts smashing the chair and he's letting out all his anger on this TV. Guys, I'm really sorry. I'm going to be a heel right now, but I thought that was really, really lame. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? LA Knight is a baby face. This is like a heel thing. Like, I just felt it was so over dramatic, so over the top. It did not call for LA Knight smashing a TV and then smashing it with his chair. Like, I'm sorry, what? Pearly says LA Knight destroyed a perfectly good working TV. Okay, have you guys seen, and I'm sure you guys have seen this, there literally happens all the time. Whenever, like, a team loses, right, in sports, and a fan, there's always that one fan that goes viral for attacking the TV. Just this last time at the end of the Super Bowl, there was a 49ers fan that I watched that was at his party with his family, goes to the TV, throws the TV on the floor, starts throwing chairs in front of the whole family, and literally all the comments are just like laughing at the guy, right? There's another video of some other fan, I don't know of what sport or what, but he's like stabbing the TV with a knife. It's goofy. When we see people do this in real life, we all laugh. We all laugh at those people. We're like, God, control yourself. You might have to go to anger management. Then they had LA Knight, a babyface, do it. I'm sorry, guys. It was kind of lame. M. Darrett says beating up a Vizio really ain't a flex. No, man, I could have used that TV. Some of us could have used that TV, guys. Tay says it wasn't threatening, but whatever. Oh, let's see what else we got here. We got Julian, who says he's going to send vibes to LA Knight. Knight is not on Styles' level. Ooh, interesting. All right. We got Fernando Zayas, who says, I thought it was way too overdramatic. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I really kind of felt like it was super overdramatic. Ice T, he says, do a Sunday brunch show, the Collision Hangover. I was thinking about doing a show for Collision this Sunday because I do want to talk about Okada and the Bucks. So I may do a show on Sunday. Keep an eye out for that. But the Collision Hangover, that would be great, except I don't drink. So it would kind of be like false advertising, I think. I'm not really too sure. Ice T, thank you so much for the super chat, man. Anyways, I didn't like what they had LA Knight do. Come on, man. He's supposed to be cooler than that. Don't go out smashing a TV. It's not cool, bro. It's just not cool. Anyways, you want to know what is cool, everybody? BlueChew is cool. Make sure to get BlueChew code Denise. Are you jobbing now in bed? Do you have dreams of main eventing in the sack? Well, have no fear. BlueChew is here to help you become the champ. Soon you'll make your babyface comeback and get the finish. BlueChew is the place to go for chewable versions of sildenafil, tadalafil, vardenafil. These ingredients help men achieve stronger, harder, and longer lasting erections for sexual activity. Woo! The chewable tablets help fight off all forms of ED, which can include performance anxiety and maintaining an erection long enough for sex. A BlueChew subscription includes a free online consultation, 24/7 medical support, a prescription for chewable, sildenafil, tadalafil, vardenafil, if approved, and discreet delivery straight to your door every month, all from the comfort of your own home at affordable prices. No more in-person doctor visits, no more waiting for appointments, and best of all, no more awkwardness. So what are you waiting for? Head on over to the description box of this video and click on the link and make sure to use the promo code Denise. Let's get into Tiffany Stratton versus Meent, everybody. All right, so man, what can I say? I feel like with this one, like, I feel like I've said all that I can say when it comes to Tiffany Stratton. As you guys know, I'm a really big fan of hers. But I really just have to say it again. WWE is doing a really good job with Tiffany. So she goes out there, she has this match with Meechin. She's been getting so many wins now, guys. So many freaking wins. She's defeated Meechin now 2 times. The first time and then here tonight. Zelina Vega, she's gotten a win over her, gotten a win over Naomi, and that's just on SmackDown. That's not even including her groundbreaking performance at the Elimination Chamber. That's not even including that. That's not even including her Royal Rumble appearance. This is literally just SmackDown. They're sending her out there. She's over. She gets reactions from the crowd. She goes out there. She has good matches. She had a really great what did she do today that I really like? Oh yeah, it was the double stomp that she did to Meechin. Looked absolutely sick. Really love that. The way she just like freaking slammed Meechin's body. Oh, that was good too. She, of course, hits her prettiest moonsault ever, gets the win. They're keeping it simple, guys. They're keeping it simple and it's effective, guys. Sometimes less is more. And right now, like we're getting to see Tiffany Stratton go out there, hit her moves, get her prettiest moonsault over, and she continues on. She's racking up wins, and I love that. She's racking up wins in entertaining matches. Even though, like I said, they're keeping it simple, her matches are still entertaining because I think we just want to see her in action. And it's just working. It's just working. And so, anyways, she gets this win. She's racking up those wins. She continues to climb the ladder. I think a lot of people are probably expecting this, and I want to join in on this conversation because Tiffany Stratton, man, she needs to I think she needs to be the one to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. I really think that she should be the one to win because she's the most interesting person right now that I can see fitting that particular spot to win the Women's Money in the Bank briefcase. Of course, we're still not there yet. We're still not building towards Money in the Bank. We still got a little bit. Of course, we still have WrestleMania. But once we get to that, and we see who is going to be in the matchup, it'll be easier to obviously make a decision. But I truly feel like right now she is the front runner when it comes to who can possibly win the Money in the Bank briefcase, guys. I've said it once, and I'm going to say it again. I really do expect Tiffany Stratton to have a very fast rise here in WWE, and I expect her to probably get like a lot of accolades underneath her belt in a short period of time. Like, I think she's going to accomplish a lot. So there's nothing much else to add about that particular thing, but that was SmackDown, everybody. A very easy show to watch, probably one of my favorites during the week. Raw, NXT, and SmackDown all feel so different from one another. I think SmackDown flies by the fastest. I think NXT gives us the most to talk about. And Raw, it depends on the week, how it feels. But honestly, I've been really enjoying talking about SmackDown, especially the last couple of weeks. And it helps when you have, The Rock on the show. It definitely helps. Alrighty, everybody. That is it for me here today. As always, thank you guys so much for hanging out. Before I go, just a friendly reminder, if you are a fan of AEW, I have all of the AEW pressers from Revolution up here on the channel. Check those out, guys. If you are an AEW fan, check them out. They're really fun. You get to learn about your favorite wrestlers, whoever it is that comes out and does a presser. It's always a good time. All right, everyone, that is it for me here today, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Do not forget to subscribe. Bye, everyone.